The story opens in the Royal Academy of the Kingdom of Clarnell, a classic setting for a tale where brave protagonists and heroines prepare to defeat the Demon King. Our protagonist finds himself inexplicably reincarnated into this familiar world, a game he'd played countless times before. As he picks at his food in the dining hall, he grapples with the shocking reality. He's been reborn as Lest Albion, a villainous noble. The grim truth hits him hard. By the middle of the game's story, he's definitely gonna die. The maddening thought simply won't leave his mind. Lest's past life memories resurfaced just days prior, during a crucial event for all 14-year-olds, the Divine Oracle Ceremony. In this sacred place, under the guidance of an oracle, young people receive their skills from the goddess. The oracle's solemn voice announces the skill granted to Lest, Tame. This revelation is immediately met with derisive laughter from Lest's twin brothers, Edward and Sidward. They mock the useless skill, fit only for controlling horses or pigeons. Their father, Gad Albion, the Marquis, reacts with explosive frustration. He rages about the Albion bloodline, renowned for producing elite swordsmen for generations, and how such a useless non-combat skill could never come from their lineage. He had hoped for a sword saint, or at least a martial arts skill. Despite his first wife's attempts to calm him, the Marquis's anger boils over as he shouts at Lest, declaring him unworthy of the Albion name. Edward and Sidward exchange delighted murmurs, relishing the thought of their incompetent younger brother making the heir competition easier. The oracle, however, offers a quiet word of encouragement to Lest. A reason must exist for him to have been granted that particular skill. A sudden, overwhelming realization dawns on Lest. He remembers everything. He, Lest Albion, is merely a character in Symphonia of Sword and Sorcery, the very game he used to play. The irony is bitter. He hasn't reincarnated as the protagonist, but as the villain. He quickly pieces together the horrifying implications. If things follow the game's events, he's killed by a Demon King army executive in the middle of the story. Worse, no matter which route I take, I always die. As a hardcore player who completed every route, he knows this to be an inescapable death flag. He resolves to break it down. Lest's focus shifts to his seemingly useless skill. He understands that while Tame is typically worthless, Lest's version is different. It can control more than just livestock. It could even control monsters. He recalls that in the original story, Lest never realized this until much later, by which time years of persecution had twisted his heart, leading him to use Tame to hurt people. This overwhelming power then made him a target of the Demon King's army, who eventually stole his power and killed him. Lest deduces that even if he tries to avoid his death, the Demon King's army will still come for him if he wields this power. His solution is clear. I'll use my knowledge of the game and become so strong I could take over a country with one hand. He has only 1 year until the story begins, leaving him a mountain of tasks to ensure his survival. The scene shifts to the Albion family's daily life. Lest's brothers, Sidward and Edward, are full of bravado about their upcoming monthly instruction day. Edward even suggests adding a full-scale mock battle. Sidward shouts playfully about not letting Edward hog the spotlight. Their father, Marquis Gad Albion, expresses his expectations for both. The first wife spitefully remarks on their enthusiasm, contrasting it with the disappointment with a trash skill. Amidst the taunts, Lest quietly enjoys his meal, finding it delicious. Edward suggests Lest would have been perfect for a livestock handler's family, or perhaps a coachman, given his skill. When Lest tries to speak, his father angrily cuts him off, shouting, "I don't care about anything you have to say." The brothers then mock him further, suggesting he go for a walk and find a dog to tame. Lest, unfazed, simply excuses himself. Alone, Lest reflects that it's been a week since he regained his memories, allowing him to piece things together. He attempts to check his status, noting that while it's not like the game, defeating monsters boosts abilities, meaning the level-up system is still in place. The basic rule of his tame skill is clear. He can only tame monsters he personally defeats, meaning he needs to boost his own stats. He identifies a crucial game mechanic still active in this world, midnight training, or midnight grind. In the game, this daily event offered 5 types of training: muscle, running, sprinting, primordial energy refinement, prayer, each raising a specific stat. Crucially, in this world, It's not restricted to midnight or a single session. Lest realizes that by doing every type of training daily, he can get stronger at an insane pace. He begins his magic refinement, surprisingly smoothly, thanks to Lest's original memories of this world. He also recognizes that his current body is physically superior to his past life, indicating the original Lest's diligent, despair-driven training. He decides to save the last training type for his room. His training is interrupted by his brothers, Edward and Sidward, who appear, again mocking him for not having a dog after his walk. Edward, a great sword wielder, recalls their sword training and points out that Lest, lacking a sword-type skill, has no right to attend training. Sidward, identified as a swordsman, echoes his brother. Lest internally dismisses them as hopeless as always. Suddenly, a servant woman exclaims in surprise at something unseen. Lest murmurs in confusion. A new figure, Ona la Brizzle, arrives, greeting the twins. The twins are shocked by what she's carrying. Ona casually explains she took down an earth dragon on the way here. Edward and Sidward are aghast, shouting that such a feat isn't something one casually does. Lest is utterly surprised, realizing this is the girl training his older brothers. Ona la Brizzle is revealed to be only 18, and already holds the title of S-rank adventurer, a genius swordswoman. She asks the servant to leave the dragon carcass, promising to retrieve it later. Lest internally longs to be trained by someone like her. 2 hours later, at the Albion family's grand training hall, Ona energetically pushes the struggling Edward and Sidward. She asks what's wrong with their predictable movements, despite them being KGH, and then collapsing. Lest observes, thinking, "This is insane." He notes that despite his brothers having sword-type skills, they're being treated like toddlers. Ona's energy doesn't waver, as she shouts, "Is it already over? Get up." The exhausted twins are defeated, declaring they can't go on. Ona calls an end to the training. The brothers express relief, questioning the intensity. Lest mentally confirms he can raise his stats through training, but acknowledges that you can't learn real combat skills by yourself. Edward complains about the pain from the mock battle he's supposed to do next, to which a narrator's caption emphatically declares, "Hell no." Ona critiques the twins, stating that with their skills and environment, they should be pushing themselves harder. Lest realizes that Ona only visits the Albion estate once a month for sword training, making this a chance he can't afford to waste. Ona suddenly addresses him. Lest, shocked, fumbles for words before introducing himself. Ona immediately connects him to his Tame skill. Lest, trembling with determination, directly asks her, "I want to get stronger. Please teach me how to fight with a sword." Ona gently rejects his plea, explaining that Tame is not a combat skill, and without a sword-type skill, he wouldn't survive her regimen. Despite this, Lest reiterates his desire to get stronger. Ona considers, then hands him a wooden sword, challenging him to show me whether you're even worth training. Their fight begins, with Ona urging him to prove it with your own hands. Lest finds her movements incredibly fast and every strike heavy. He recognizes she's on another level and, even holding back, could knock him out instantly. He pushes himself, desperately trying to figure out even one thing to learn. Ona notices his efforts, reacting with an impressed ho. Lest continues to struggle, body aching, losing track of time as his legs give out. Ona finally calls it. Exhausted, Lest asks how he did. Ona pauses, then bluntly states, "Not even close. Your physical ability barely meets the minimum. As for swordsmanship, you are practically a total beginner." But she adds a crucial but. "Why do you seek power?" Lest, momentarily confused, eventually asserts, I want to win, against fate itself." Impressed, Ona agrees to give him 30 minutes of instruction after training his brothers, warning him she stop if he slacks off. Lest is overjoyed and thanks her profusely. Ona lets him keep the wooden sword and advises him to train as much as possible before their next monthly meeting, even starting by teaching him how to grip it properly. Lest eagerly requests her guidance. 2 months later, on the 3rd day of training with Ona, Lest is energetically engaged in their training sessions. Ona observes his movements, noting they're becoming predictable and guessing his next move. She even internally thinks, next go for a thrust. Lest, however, anticipates her, feeling the moment is right here. After several intense exchanges, Ulna acknowledges a feint, but critiques Lest for not following through. Lest internally realizes that even if he had, it wouldn't have worked on Ulna. He then remembers game knowledge. In Symphonia of Sword and Sorcery, techniques are just as essential as skills, maybe more. They're finishing moves that let you exceed your physical limits. Lest reveals he's learned one. A single strike that boosts sword speed and power, blade surge, full drive. He then uses flash step. Ulna is visibly shocked, barely avoiding the attack, murmuring, "That was close." Lest is surprised by her reaction. Lest reflects on his 2 months of intense training, thinking he'd gotten stronger, but still perceiving a wide gap between them. Ulna, however, thinks that growth. It's honestly shocking. Lest inwardly curses his perceived lack of progress. Ulna's internal analysis continues. He's only been learning swordsmanship for 2 months, and he's already on par with his brothers who started 6 months earlier. Sure, he's probably been putting in blood, sweat, and tears, but even that doesn't fully explain it. That last technique, flash step, was designed for sword skill users only. For someone without proper combat class to pull it off. Even with natural talent, it should have taken at least a full year, but he did it in just 2 months. Lest, undeterred, demands, "Come on, let's continue training." Ulna agrees, her final internal thought suggesting a profound realization. Maybe, just maybe, I'm raising a total monster.